The only thing I'd say about it is that we have a lot of guys on this team that were here for those experiences, right? And so I think it says a lot about our group to be able to take some of those circumstances and some of those unfortunate things and be able to turn that into something positive and use that as fuel, use that as a way to just bring us closer together and really fight through that adversity to bring out the best in all of us. So from 17 to 18, being able to do that, and then now from 18 to 19, and we're in a position now to, continue to take steps forward to achieve the ultimate goal. So I think it says a lot about this group. As far as this game being a revenge game or anything like that, I don't look at it like that at all. These are two totally different seasons, right? That was 2 years ago. Now, I will say this, there are a lot of the same players on that team, on defense at least as I look at them. And so what that tells me is those guys have done an excellent job of, maintaining what I think is an extremely solid group on defense. Those guys play very hard. They play very well together. They're very well coached. So we got our work cut out for us this week.
Drew, with the way you guys have played this month, particularly you with the no interceptions, the lack of turnovers overall, I mean, just what a solid way you guys are going into the postseason in that regard.
Yeah, I think mid-season we looked at ourselves offensively, and we were doing some good things, but didn't feel like we were putting forth our best performances, and so the goal really in looking at a lot of the little things, really just the execution of our offense and kind of the way that we, the standard that we've set for ourselves, felt like, there was a lot of things that we could be doing better, and we wanted to, continue to progress forward throughout the latter half of the season to the point where we were playing our best football going into the postseason. And I think we've made great strides from week to week. I do think we've gotten better each week. And I think the statistics would reflect that. I think the points per game would reflect that. I think just the overall execution would reflect that. The stats don't always reflect it, but I'd say for us offensively, we have been able to be balanced. We've taken good care of the football. We've paid close attention to situational football and how to play that and execute in those situations. And so I'm pleased with where we're at, but I also think we can get better.
Drew, how much does a player like Jared influence a defense in terms of the mismatches he can create?
Well, he's a big target, obviously, right? He's got a big catch radius. So, any one-on-one matchup, there's not a guy on defense that's going to match his size, right? So you always feel like there's a place where you can throw the football where he can get it and other guys can't. Complement that with the other stable of guys that we have. And, from game plan to game plan, you see what defenses try to do to potentially take away Mike or Alvin or some of these guys, and all that's going to do is open up opportunities for other guys. So everybody's got to be ready.
As far as what may make, not that you want to go through and rehash every postseason team you've been here, been on here, but is there something about the DNA that makes this group special, in your opinion? Overcoming adversity, the injuries, just something that kind of makes it more unique than maybe some of the other playoff teams here?
Well, look, we battled to be 13-3, and here we are as the 3 seed. It's a strong year in the NFC. I mean, you look around, and there's a ton of great teams, and even the teams that are going on the road this week, are really, really good teams. Nobody snuck into the playoffs here. Everybody earned their spot. So, I think that competition is something that throughout the season, I think, has brought out the best in our team. And so maybe that's something that's I don't want to say unique, but that's what you want to see. You want to see guys stepping up to to take on these challenges.
Daniel Hunter, is he kind of a guy you got to plan for, the pass rusher for Minnesota?
How about both of them? How about all of them? That's been the strength of this defense for a long time. It's those guys' ability to get after the passer, they're one of the league leaders in sacks, and then that directly relates to, their ability to take the ball away. They got a ball hawking secondary. They got linebackers that are great at getting the ball out and just being around the ball, and so it's a very aggressive defense from that standpoint, and that's something they thrive on, so it's something we have to make sure that we pay close attention to.
True, I know Kirk Cousins has been sort of under the microscope in his time in Minnesota.
Yeah.
I remember a couple years ago you said he's a kind of a guy you root for, you appreciate his
Yeah.
story. I mean, have you had a chance to ever compare notes with him in the last couple of years?
Yeah. We were in the Pro Bowl together a couple years ago when he was in Washington, and I remember we talked. We've spoken on a few occasions during the off seasons, talking shop, talking concepts, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I do have a lot of respect for him, and the road he's traveled. He was drafted third round pick, right? But the same year that they drafted RG3 with the first round pick, and so, for a guy to come in and really have to earn it every step of the way, I respect that road, and what he's had to earn to put himself in the position he's in, and he's had a great year.
Drew, you played with a lot of really good tight ends. The groove that you're in right now with Jared Cook, is it comparable to the groove that you've been with other tight ends throughout your career, that this stretch of the last 7 weeks or so?
All I can say is I feel really confident throwing the ball to him, and I feel like we've just gotten a little bit better each and every week, and there's really kind of a big tree of routes, that he can run, and I feel very comfortable throwing the ball to him running.
Minnesota is such an important team. It's an important part of this team's playoff history. It's like 10 years.
Sure.
Is it kind of cool to be able to be a player that can reflect on that?
Yeah,
And what do you
sure,
remember about
sure.
the importance of that?
Well, I think the way I look at it is, there's just some of those storied organizations, right? Those that have had many great teams throughout many different eras throughout the NFL. And you'd say the Minnesota Vikings are one of those teams. They got a great fan base. They have a great history and tradition for winning. You'd say during the Mike Zimmer era here, over the last whatever it's been, they've had a bunch of great teams. And certainly as I look at, the side of the ball I'm going against, some great defenses. So just the challenge of that, makes this, it's an honor to be able to play in games like this.
You've talked about like Wade Phillips and certain coaches. Not that you don't respect every coach, but is Zimmer a guy that maybe is at a different level? I know you've talked about Minnesota before and his defenses.
Yeah.
That you just kind of have an affinity for the way he coaches or what he does.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is played against him in a number of places, going back to his time in Dallas, Cincinnati, and now Minnesota. And obviously Coach Payton, coached with him in Dallas. And so there's a long history there. I've always respected his style, and he's had a ton of great defenses wherever he's been. Guys play hard for him, and he's a great football coach.
Drew, despite being the 3 seed, going into the postseason this year, compared to the last 2 years, from a talent standpoint, from what you have in this locker room and the experience, do you feel like this team, even as a 3 seed, could be better as some of the teams that were a 1 seed maybe the last couple of years?
Listen, we'll see. I certainly think we have the potential. But you got to go out each week and you got to prove it. And so we focus on the details of this week and focus on playing our best game. Then I think we can be pretty good.
Jordan, do you have a future shoe designer in the family, and do you get a break on the product?
Yeah. So my oldest son Balin, he's gotten into it. He's become friends with the guy who designs all of my shoes for my cause, my cleats, Marcus Rivero, and so they've actually FaceTimed together and done. He's given him some tips, and we've got him the whole airbrush set up at home. He got that for Christmas, so he's been making cleats now for guys on the team. So it's funny because I try to bring the boys in here. Like the thrill of their life is to be able to come to the Saints facility with Dad, and see a lot of their heroes and run around. And every time Balin comes here, he goes and raids the equipment room and grabs the cleats of various guys. And he's made pairs for Teddy Bridgewater, Taysom, Mike T. He made him a Christmas pair. I don't know if you saw those. They had like a string of lights on them. They were cool. Made some for Marshawn Lattimore. He made some for Deontay Harris today. He was wearing them during walkthrough. And so a bunch of the guys have come up to him this week, actually on Monday. I brought him in and said, hey, will you make me a pair? And the guy gave him a box of cleats. So we went home with like 6 boxes of cleats on Monday. So that's probably what he's in the garage doing as we speak.
As far as real quick, one more, as far as the video of the Saints kids doing the chant, your son
Oh,
was
yeah,
obviously
that's awesome.
leading it. What are just your thoughts on it, and how did Balin do, I guess?
It was awesome. It was funny because I was laying in bed with him the night before they filmed that, and he's like, Dad, I'm kind of nervous. I was like, but we've done this a million times together, because they'll want to reenact, the huddle and, running out of the tunnel and all that stuff. And I said, you're going to do great. You're the oldest one. They're all looking up to you. And so he was getting all pumped up, and he's like, Dad, can I wear your Super Bowl ring? I was like, that's a big responsibility, but yeah, absolutely. I said, you want to take on that responsibility? He said, yes, I got it, Dad. Don't worry. So sure enough, he is. He's there in the middle holding up the Super Bowl ring. I was proud of him. He did a great job.